so rare for me to be able to get on here because hold on, let me make sure this will work. It's so rare for me to be able to get on because every time I want to do something, there's people around. There's 4 people in my queue, and they might not have their mind on me, but I feel like I get paranoid. They're trying to eavesdrop. It throws my thought off real bad. ADHD, but it's clear now. And I was able to call Donnie 2 times. I just tried to call him again, but it didn't work. I'll tell y'all what happened. The first time I called, I was able to tell him the spirits touched my shoulder, and Bohemian Rhapsody. And he laughed at Bohemian Rhapsody, and right when I said the beast, he was already talking, so he didn't catch up on that. So pretty much ended the call. So I called back a couple days ago. I got through. Now the first time I called, I was the 6th caller in line, and I had 66% on my battery. So I literally was like, I'm getting through now, and that was the first time I got through. I knew I was getting through. But the second time, I got through. This time I told him, I think perdition is prison. And he's like, well, perdition means someone who is led by evil spirits or something. I'm not forgetting. See this, but I'm not saying that I don't want to make it look stupid. I want to say that his mind wasn't there right then with me. His mind wasn't there. Yeah, it says 2 Thessalonians there's a man of perdition, but it also says in Revelation several places. I could be lying, but I believe it's chapter 13, chapter 17. The beast goes into a perdition. He receives a deadly wound after he goes into perdition. He has no power, this and that. They wouldn't understand what I was saying. That was all. But I did tell him I was the beast, and I believe that he heard me. But at the same time, some dude was talking in his ear while I said it, so I think it flew over his head. But both times I called, I didn't have any notes. So what I did, and basically, I'm real ADHD, and when I get nervous, my brain goes blank. I've been cursed with that my whole life. Even when the camera's rolling, if the camera wasn't rolling, I'd be on point. But I wrote. Next time I call him, I'm gonna tell him about chapter 14. Now I don't know if it's. I could be 100% wrong on this. As a matter of fact, I told Rick Pearson about this theory, and he completely shut it down. So I could be wrong. I'm not right on everything. I'm right on a lot of it. I'm right on Bohemian Rhapsody, and that's 666 probably. But I know Bohemian Rhapsody. So I'm just throwing other stuff at the wall, seeing what it's doing. What if 14 is in chronological order? Better yet, what if it isn't in chronological order and the Muslims are just going to believe it is, and that's going to help initiate, the destruction of the USA? I don't know. but it's a question that I think we should ask. I don't think, and I think God's held it in everybody's mind. If that is, if I believe it's 14:8, Babylon has fallen. If that is separate, if that's in chronological order, the events, which I believe 13 and 14 is in chronological order, that shows that basically the rapture takes place way after the destruction of Babylon and the rest of the East. And it shows that the destruction of Babylon is a separate event from the Battle of Armageddon. But anyways, I called and I was 6th place, and I was like, all right, maybe through. But she's like, what? I just don't understand. She was completely shocked. She said, this ain't never happened. She just won't let me look you through. And I told her, I was like, well, that's God saying he don't want me on the air. And she started laughing like, yeah, I already know. But I tried to call back anyways. Before I got patched through to the next screener, it said, you're no longer on the air. That's what it was telling me the other day when I was trying to call. But this, my mama called, I was on the payphone, and we actually got on air. Well, my call was dying. This was like 2023, I think, or the beginning of 24, January. We got on the air. They told me, you have so-and-so, you got 1 minute left. So I was like, Mama, I'm going to hang up, call right back in, patch me in. So I hung up, I called back. She's sitting there hitting the answer button and it won't answer. It didn't answer. And when she told me that, I was like, that's fake. It's not meant to be right now. But I ended up calling her back, but by the time I called back and it did work, they had already answered and seen that I wasn't there and hung up on her. But I told him I was in prison, and he was okay with that. You know, I want to ask, I ain't gonna lie, I want to ask, I want one of those study Bibles. I forget what they call them. I want them signed. I want 4. Oh, my last video, I called him Jonathan. His name is Gabriel. Gabriel, Donnie, Jimmy, Francis. And there's one girl I like. I wouldn't put her on my list. She's nowhere near that level. But she's the best one of the singers. She's married too. But the black girl looks good too, though. She looks like the girl off Saved by the Bell. But I'm not into black girls like that. Mixed girls, yeah. My book, man, everything seemed to be falling in place good. Sally, I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on this video, cut out all these but Sally, I've been waiting 6 months for her book to get finished, and it's been putting me off. And man, so many times I wanted to tell Lewis, like, there's a reason I'm rushing you. Like, I'm trying to make this happen while I'm still here. Like, I was that close to suicide. Like, I don't think I'm gonna be here much longer, you know. But, and I want to say this, that nicotine has a whole lot to do with depression, and I'm trying to quit that. I learned that over the years. I got these patches, kind of dumb. So I'm trying to quit that. But man, if you smoke and you have a depression, quit. But yeah, she's professional, man. I even mentioned a couple of the things she fixed. I'm gonna have to pause this and restart it. I just next stop was but what was I saying? Man, a good editor. I'm talking about. She's professional. She works at a bookstore. I was giving you a couple of examples of what she thinks. I said me and the devil in there, and she put the devil in I. When she told me about some of her fixings, I was like, man, I told her, I was like, you're gonna make me look real smart. All she did was punctuation and grammar, she said, but man, it makes a whole lot of difference. Makes a whole lot of difference. So I got a professional book, y'all. I'm ready for her to lay it out. I've been waiting 6 months on it. Now I got it finished, and I can't even get Lewis to answer a message now. So it's more waiting. I've been researching, doing Reedsy.com version, but I can't figure out. It's like I got periodic poems to it. I want my poems its own page, and I can't figure out how to do it on there. I can split a chapter, but then sometimes you can't take the numbers off the chapter. Like I had that problem publishing my last book. I still had the numbers on the chapter at the top. I miss getting on. I kind of miss getting on Instagram, but I ain't gonna lie, man. When I was on there, I sweated bullets. Every time I seen Lucia Diaz made a post, I sweated. Like, what if I see her kissing on another dude? What am I gonna do? Like, I don't even know. I don't think I hurt myself, but I would be just devastated. She's always in there with another dude. I'm hoping that's her friend. But that was one of the bad things. And then when she got off there, I already had a crush on Ruby, but I like zeroed in on her. I was zeroed in on her for the last 4 or 5 months. Now she's had me blocked for a month, and I haven't. I started talking to somebody on. People they want to wait till I'm doing something to come talk to me. They see I'm doing something. They want to know what I'm doing. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, really? Yeah. I wrote her some poems, and I didn't get them in the book because two of them, they wasn't that. I wouldn't say they're that good, and then one of them, I had it in the draft, and when I told Lewis, send me the draft back on edit, he's sending me an old draft from last year. The book's been wrote since like for 6 months now, but so I can't just recreate a poem. When they come to me, they come to me. It's like I can't just sit there and remember what I did. I think poems are emotional because it's how you're feeling at that time. Right now, I'm not feeling it. I'm still feeling it, but I ain't feeling it. I'm like, it's at least with a little anger because I only get $50 a month. For the last 2 months, I've sent her a message. Cameo, $20. And she still won't unblock me. It's just humans will write you off so fast. I've seen the evil of every human. I've ever dealt with. Sometimes what really gets me is a lot of things they do don't really get to me, but it's the fact that what they think they're doing is getting to me. It's bringing them joy. It's like, man, well, you're sick fuck, man. They want to see people down. Sometimes I guess that helps their mood and makes them feel better. But here goes my neighbor. Maybe he'll stay out of here. I wanted to say some more things as well. Yeah, I started talking to her on Facebook dating, but I had to end. Had to stop it because I just wasn't into it. I just wasn't into it. My tastes are way higher than they're supposed to be. Like, I just can't get into somebody unless they're really, really hot. I don't know what it is. But that's the second time that happened. They're trying to send me pictures of their boobs and shit. I don't even see it. Just can't. I'm a fine person locked in an ugly person's body. But one day, all the fine girls are like me. I want to get like a catalog and check them out like a library. I think that would bring happiness, you know. I forget what else I wanted to talk about. But I've had this phone for 6 months. 6 months now, thank God. I haven't paid the internet bill on it but one time, and then after that, I got free internet, free high-speed internet. And I need to start thinking about what I leave behind, because I don't have much more time. They gave me the song, the Queen song. I'm not even going to say the title because I'm so fucking sick of saying that song title. I'm so sick of talking about this song. But they gave me the Queen song in 2019, around June or July. I could know for sure eventually, because it's right in between two books I wrote. But I would have to go looking and digging. But it's been exactly 6 years. Everything happens in 6. Am I gonna die in 2 months? Probably. Maybe not. Maybe that's just when it's exposed. The book they told me to write, I wrote the book. It's finished. It's got a lot of bad stuff in there. Bad as in evil. I went back and forth. Each time I would send Lewis a draft, I would take it out and put it back in. I'm like, I don't want to put that in there. I wanted to put a quote in there from Marilyn Manson that said, "Each thing I tell you is a piece of my death." It just fits the book like nothing else. But damn, man, it comes with all the baggage where it can come from other words and songs that I don't necessarily want to associate with the book. Try to read like, alright, it's an evil ass book. I don't want it to be a book like that. I want it to be a book like an open-minded, like, you know, I talked to somebody the other day. He said, talking about the Antichrist, he was a Muslim. He's like, man, all I know is if everybody thinks he's bad, you know, don't really follow all that, but if everybody thinks he's bad, shit, I don't. Shit, he's bad then. He gotta be. I don't want this. But I was like, man, if you could take something and everybody thinks is bad, 666, make it cool. You did something with your life. You accomplished something. And I know that's what I'm gonna do. Do I feel bad about it? No, because I feel like it's my destiny and I have to. There's only one way that I would do it. It's not gonna happen. If I could sit down with Donnie Swagger, I don't know why I'm so drawn to him. I just feel like I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says. I don't agree. I think they agree with his commission. They think America's all good. So I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says, but I think if you want to go to heaven, his church would be the fastest way to get there. Like, but as much as you can chop the Bible up with all of what I believe to be contradictions, I believe they have it the straightest. I believe they have it set the best. But I believe if Donnie Swagger would let me explain to him completely all my theories, the song lyrics, show him the videos, I might need 3 or 4 hours with him. And then he'd tell me genuinely, man, there's no way you're not beast. I'd probably be like, alright, I'm not beast. But so far, it's been people who refuse to listen to me, refuse to hear anything I say. When I start talking, they cut me off. So you think I'm going to listen to you when you tell me I'm not the beast? And you won't even hear me out? It's not going to work like that. Oh, Jerry, my old friend is supposed to be over here. I don't want to talk about it. I don't understand why I've been given an impossible mission. All of this access. And I told God, I'm like, well, I'll say I told God, but I told somebody as if I was talking to God. You've already lit the visible side. Have all this contact with me. Guide me this far. Why don't you just tell them to tell me what to do? Dream, get a vision. I want to know what to do because I'm sick of being made fun of, not listening to you. I just want my book published. Somebody's coming. I gotta talk close to the phone, but they're not. My mic's out on my earbuds, so it's so loud in here you can hardly hear what I was saying. I thought about adding some captions, but I don't think I'm going to, because I'm literally too lazy. But I wanted to say this. Sally did make some suggestions on my book. She wanted me to take out the part where I said I want to own my girls. I told her, not a chance. Because that's what I'm gonna do. If I see someone and I like them, I'm gonna, hey, that's mine. Nobody's gonna do nothing about it. I know that contradicts a little in my book about everybody being happy, but I'm gonna do the best I can to make them happy with money, and I'm gonna keep them in my mission. And That's all I wanted to